Okay, so hear me out. I have a deadline for a paper, okay? And currently it is the 24th of January, and we're in 2025. And this paper is actually due on the 13th of February. But I, unfortunately, have to submit this paper sooner for multiple of reasons. First of all, on the 12th and the 14th, I have two very important exams that I haven't really done much for yet. So I don't want to take time away from that. But also, the main issue mainly is that my best friend is coming over to visit me from my home country, Turkey, for the first time. And she's gonna come on this Wednesday. Today is a Friday, by the way. So upcoming Wednesday, she's gonna come and visit me on the 29th. And so we're gonna spend like the upcoming 5 days with her after that point. And so ideally, I don't want to think about this paper, okay? And I've somehow convinced myself I can finish this paper in 5 days. So this is what I'm gonna try to document. So today, I've already spent like an hour on this paper, but I will have to say I haven't done much, to be honest. So far what I've done, I will just summarize it very fast. So far what I've done is I've found the template I want to use in Overleaf. I've like read through the inner workings of that template. I've formatted my bibliography and like pasted it on there. Technically, I've done the literature scan and it's going to be good because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping like a literature review is the only, or at least like the main part of this paper. So that's good, and I've already presented the findings and these papers that I'm referencing to. So it's gonna be good. Like I've done the literature scan, that's in check, and I think that's like the thing that takes the most time, like coming up with sources and then reading them and understanding them and then summarizing them in your own words. That's the hardest part, and that's already basically done. So this is why I think I can write this paper in 5 days completely and submit it. This is my goal. So we're gonna see. I do have a meeting with my supervisor on Monday. So ideally until Monday, I will have done a lot of things. I would like to be even like close to done. And I know that doesn't make so much sense, especially considering that tonight I'm gonna be spending with my boyfriend. So and I already started late studying today. It's already what? It's already 1:30, so I did take my sweet time to start working on this paper today, but it should be fun. I'm not even worried yet, which is insane. We'll see if that changes, by the way. So this is day one of this like boot camp of paper. Yeah, I was counting what I've done so far. Again, literature review done, notes taken, easy. I have gone ahead and structured the paper as well. I know the flow of the paper, how it's gonna be. I've written my introduction. I haven't though gone back to it and reread it. It will obviously have to be redone to the most extent. I've started writing my first section, and it's quite fun to write it in Overleaf, I must say. I write it a lot and then I just like print it and it's like nothing's there and then boom, something's there. Anyway, so this is what I've done so far. Currently 1:30, as I've said before. We're gonna see how much progress I can make. With this paper, we're also trying to hit, what was it, 6,000 words. And I will have to say, I have no idea what that amounts to. My friend told me it's like 10-15 pages. We're gonna see. I feel like I at first thought I'm gonna end up like writing much more, but now I'm thinking again, maybe the opposite will happen actually. So let's go ahead and start typing, and I will check in when I'm done with, I think, the first chapter, hopefully in like, I don't know, like 2 hours. Does that sound good? I don't even know. I haven't done this systematically before, even though I've written papers. But okay, we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. So the sun has gone down, and so has my hopes of being productive for today. I'm just gonna call it. So far what I've done is I've written, let me see how many words. I've written 1,392 words, which is not so bad, I guess. What I've done so far is almost completely completed the first chapter. Has, I think, 3 or 4 sub chapters, and only one of them is remaining. Then I will have to do tomorrow, the next day, and the next day Motivations and Intensive Scientist with 2 other sub chapters within that, and also Characteristics Shaping the Science Production, the Scientific Elite, but this will depend after what my advisor says, because I might just strike that out. And yeah, basically that's what we have going on currently. I've become, even in this short span of time, like way better at using Overleaf, which is currently very surprising to me. I was not expecting that, but I'll just take what I can get. This was not the most productive day, but happens to the best of us. I think on Sunday I have to grind like especially hard, because on Monday and Tuesday I have work and classes. So we'll see how it goes. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. I can use the first half of Wednesday as well to write stuff. It's not so bad. I'll just calm down. But so that's the overview of day 1. It's flown by so fast. Okay, so today is a new day. It's Saturday. I am about to start. I'm actually very excited. I'm lying to myself partially, but that should be fine. That should be fine. That's something I do all the time. So, okay, here's a plan. I'm gonna finish up like mock writing. How do you even call that? Like first draft writing of the characteristics section, and oh my god, then what do I have? I'm so confused, I swear. And then hopefully I also want to lock in with either, okay, whichever one makes more sense, either Motivations and Incentives or Characteristics Shaping the Science Production. I've sort of decided I'm gonna strike out Scientific Elite, because I've already written like, what, almost a quarter of the thing. Today's mission is to get through Characteristics and 1 additional chapter, whether that be Motivations and Incentives or Characteristics Shaping the Science Production. And then afterwards we'll see what the situation is with the Scientific Elite. Although I must say I'm confused right now about where did I put the gender stuff, because I know I have it in the script somewhere, but I don't see it now, and maybe I've just incorporated it into the characteristics section and I just completely forgot about it, which should give you a good idea of how out of it I was yesterday when I was doing this, which does not really make me happy. But today I took a shower, I put my my power rings on, they're on, and I have like my power lipstick on, this random lipstick. Oh, let's do some ads. Does Urban Decay? Actually, this is so funny because I wanted to repurchase this because I randomly found this one day and no one had used it, and then I wanted to purchase it. They don't make it anymore. So that's that, I guess. That's not the point. That's not the point. I have my coffee, which is reheated, so it's warm. So, you know, that's not a distraction. Have water right here with like a whole pitch. And also, I have some snacks like literally next to me. There is no fucking reason why I should get up, except for peeing, you know? So I'm hoping I'm gonna get through both those chapters. So okay. Yesterday I spent 2.5 hours studying. See here. Here's proof. I'm not lying, okay? Although why would I lie? That's like an embarrassingly low amount of hours for studying in one day. Especially when I didn't do anything else particularly. So, okay, if I took 2.5 hours to write most of the characteristics section, I'm thinking to myself like, let's say I take 1 more hour to write the rest of the characteristics, and let's say I take 3 hours to write the additional chapter. And I might still swing a little bit of the other chapter, is what I want to think. Is that wishful thinking? It seems plausible. It is definitely feasible. So I'm gonna jump right ahead and do that. And then maybe I will even feel comfortable enough writing the abstract or the conclusion or something like that. Because, you know, that's also a part of things, but that's like relatively easy. So it'll make me feel good, you know, once you get something easy done, of course. But yeah, I have everything. I feel relatively optimistic and we'll see what happens. It's exactly 12:33. I have my phone on silent. I do have headphones in, but I will not be listening to music because I think that's a mistake what I did yesterday. I think this is partially why I couldn't focus so much. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I should be easy to tap into this for me because I've written so many things, but somehow sometimes it's not. And if I see I struggled a lot, I might just cave in and book like a session at the library. I might just try to book one of the tables and try to write it there, although I don't want it, okay? I do realize though it's a luxury to be able to like study effectively in your own house. But if I can't do it, then I'll just have to put myself through that discomfort and go to the library. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm just gonna start now. I can't delay this any further. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write the best paper ever, best paper draft ever, and I'm gonna come back. It's gonna be quite fast. Watch it. I can explain. Today is in fact Wednesday. Today's the day actually Nurdin comes, and she's going to come at 2:20. And currently it is, let me check real quick. Currently it's 10, meaning that I have 4 hours about before I should leave the house. And here's my progress. Here's what happened. I sort of broke down very badly on Saturday. I felt so overwhelmed. I didn't do, I think, what I was supposed to, like what I planned for myself. That really didn't happen. And, you know, that's just life. It happens. I feel like it happens to me quite more often than it happens to other people. But that's something I'm just gonna have to learn how to navigate. And this is what this journal is for, basically. And I felt very ashamed, and I thought about like putting this project in the trash. Honestly, I did not want to answer to anyone, with even if that is just like a video recording with no audience. It's basically for myself. I didn't really want to answer to myself. I felt very disappointed in myself for not pulling through. But then I went to sleep. I was crying. It was very horrible. I went to bed at around 7 at night on Saturday, and I barely slept. I think I slept like 3 hours. I couldn't sleep. I felt awful. I tried everything. But then I woke up at 4:30, I think. Yeah, 4:30 on Sunday, and until around 5:30 in the evening, I just basically tried to take as least amount of breaks possible, and I wrote the whole thing. I went through the first draft. It's completely done. But as you also know, I had my meeting on Monday, and I'm very pleasantly surprised to say I don't have to change much in my first draft. So I've also decided, my original plan was to like completely finish this before Nurdin arrives, but I don't think that's happening, honestly. Although who knows, I have like good chunk, like I have like 3 straight hours. This should be enough if I can focus myself, but I'm not trying to push this idea on myself that I'm going to finish it, because this drives me insane, so to speak. So yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah. So what I have to change is here's what I tell you. I have to change my introduction. My supervisor told me that in my presentation I made a point that the generalizability of the results is questionable because it's almost only natural scientists, but then he pointed out for industry, social scientists don't matter so much because we don't invent stuff or we don't cure cancer, which is a crazy statement. I mean, it is true, it is a crazy statement considering that I would be a social scientist and he's definitely a social scientist. So I sort of laughed, but that's not the point. This I have to change because my introduction now is like, scientists are important, let's learn about them. But I'm gonna sort of flip it to say, hey, scientists contribute to innovation, and therefore it's important that we understand what they are, who they are, so that we can support them and like further help them innovate. And what else? He sort of recommended me to resources, but I honestly don't want to include them, so I'm not going to. But also it was unclear to me if he was like anecdotally telling me I should use them, or he was just anecdotally telling me that I should read them because I am interested in the area, or if he wanted me to include them in the paper. But I'm not going to. This is just I've decided that this is just not necessary. I don't want this extra workload. What else? I have this one part in characteristics of scientists that I didn't really finish. I think it was one, I don't recall which paper, but this one paper I didn't put in, and I had it on my list. Then I have to proofread. So basically 3 things. And then he also told me he didn't like my titling of like, especially in intrinsic versus external motivation. So I'm gonna move around with the titles and move around some chapters. But that's it. I'm currently also already at like 5,000 something words, so that's perfect. I don't need to change anything in that regard. I think it's good enough, you know, because it's supposed to be 6,000 more or less. I'm gonna hit that goal. So yeah, those are all of the new things, so to say. I've cleaned the house a little bit. I've put a load of laundry in. It's in the dryer now. And I have breakfast cooking. I'm gonna have breakfast and I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day until I go pick her up with the paper. So we'll see what happens. I feel calm but optimistic. So guess what? I did turn the paper in. It's done. I'm done, and I will say I'm quite happy with it. Here's what happened. So the day Nordins came over, I think I've recapped this, but I'll just do it right away again. I basically was done with the whole thing. I proofread it, I AI proofed it, and the only thing that was remaining was that just to go over proofread once more, because you can never proofread enough. But also I wanted to sort of go through my citation. I'm very bad at citing stuff. This is something I have to deal with at some point. But I went through citation check, meaning that I did the citation check myself, and then I proofread it once again, changed the titles, submitted everything, signed the authenticity thing, and that's it. I turned it in. If I had to summarize my general experience with this paper, is that, as it always goes, it's like very steep learning curve at first. Like, it's like very hard, it's very daunting, it's too much all at once, and then one day you wake up and it's so funny because it's like someone did all the work for you, but of course that someone is you as well. Like, you just did it in the past and you were struggling quite a lot, and then one day you wake up and it's like, oh wait, this is like a good amount of work's already done. And then it becomes fun, and then it becomes very repetitive again because you're rereading, you're rewriting, and I still cannot say if I like this or if I'm good at this. But this is the first paper I submitted in my master's. But yeah, this was my experience writing my first paper for my master's. I will say it went way better than all of the other papers I did in my bachelor's. For that, I'm very grateful. I still am not really proud of how I emotionally handled this, but this is something I can work on. I think I feel optimistic about the future, as I always do. So yeah, thank you for joining me. And that was that. We did that. I did that.